Hi, my name is Sophie Basson. I am a relationship expert, international speaker, and best-selling author of a book, Your Other Half. What I'd like to talk to you about today is dead-end relationships. And the truth is that if you are asking yourself the question as to whether you are in one, you probably are. But before we go into that and what you can do about it, I just want to explain how you maybe got there. So there's various stages in a relationship, as we all know. We're not going to go back to, when you first met, so to speak, but more when it started to go wrong. And a lot of the time, because of routine and, life in general, we can evolve in different paths, in different ways. And it will start with a period of stagnation, where you kind of start to differentiate yourself from the other person. So maybe doing more things on your own and a lot less as a couple. And you become, in that way, a little bit more individualistic. Now, that's not to say that it's selfish or anything like that. It's just something that happens. You've got different interests. You just change, as I said, in different ways. And, you don't want to stay at home all day on your own. So you start doing different things. The second thing that normally happens with that is that there'd be a drop in a communication. So that's either, verbal communication or physical, i.e. sex. They're the two things that normally go first. So a lot of the time this happens because there are unaddressed and unresolved issues that have been around for quite a long time. And you probably at some point will have thought, I need to really speak to him, her about that. But you haven't. And you probably haven't because you thought, if I say this, they say that anyway, so there's no point. So you've had the conversation in your own head, but the other person may not even be aware that it was a problem at that point. So once you start to ask yourself if you are in a dead-end relationship and whether there is more to life than this, unfortunately, it means some sort of acceptance that there is something wrong. And a lot of people will actually bury their head like an ostrich and think, no, I'm not addressing it. Acceptance means that you've got to do something about it, unfortunately. And there's pretty much three options. The first one is the one that most people choose and stay in for the longest, which is moaning and being in limbo and blaming the world and, feeling like there's nothing they can do about it and that it's not their fault, or maybe it is a little bit, but it's their fault too. And they stay in that kind of cycle of unhappiness until they choose to do one or the other thing. But whether you leave the relationship or you stay, there has got to be a point where you address the problem. And that's what comes with acceptance. Otherwise, you just stay in the cycle of unhappiness. And so it's a bit like stagnant water. If you leave it, it starts to get mouldy and it gets worse and worse and worse. So really addressing it and having a conversation on how you can make it better would actually be quite helpful, as opposed to just staying and making it worse by just doing your own thing. And don't get me wrong, it works for some people and that's absolutely fine. But I also know a lot of people it doesn't work for. And actually, when they make the decision to address the situation, either by leaving or staying, but actually working at it, and not just by being there, I mean properly working at it, then they wish they'd done it years ago. So what I want to leave you with is, if you are in that situation, do something. It doesn't have to be leaving, but it starts with a conversation. It starts with trying to rekindle what was there. And if that doesn't work, then at least you've tried everything. It's better to address a problem than to bury your head in the sand. That's not going to get you happiness, not in a million years. I will speak to you soon.